Are you in need of an investigator? Perhaps you require corporate investigation services to help safeguard your company's assets or reputation. Whatever your reason for seeking the services of an investigator, this guide will provide you with a comprehensive understanding of the different types of investigations available, the skills required of an investigator, and what to look for when choosing an investigator in Kenya. Before we tackle these matters, first kindly hit the subscribe button to be alerted when we have more content of this nature. In this guide, we will explore the world of private and corporate investigations and provide you with the information you need to make informed decisions when choosing an investigator. Types of private and corporate investigations. Private investigators in Kenya provide a range of services including background checks. A background check involves researching an individual's personal and professional history to verify their identity and check for any red flags. This can include criminal records, credit reports, employment history, and education credentials. Surveillance. Surveillance involves monitoring an individual's activities either in person or through electronic means to gather evidence of their behavior. This can include tracking their movements, monitoring their communications, or observing their behavior in public. Fraud investigation. Fraud investigation involves gathering evidence to uncover fraudulent activities such as embezzlement, money laundering, or identity theft. This can involve forensic accounting, digital forensics, or other investigative techniques. Other investigative services. Private investigators can also provide a range of other investigative services such as skip tracing, locating missing persons, insurance fraud investigation, and process serving, delivering legal documents. Corporate investigations, on the other hand, are focused on protecting a company's assets and reputation. These investigations can include due diligence. Due diligence investigations involve researching a company's financial, legal, and operational history to assess the risks of doing business with them. This can include background checks on key personnel, reviewing financial statements, and examining contracts and legal agreements. Fraud investigation. Corporate fraud investigations involve uncovering fraudulent activities within a company, such as embezzlement, bribery, or other financial crimes. This can involve forensic accounting, digital forensics, and other investigative techniques. Intellectual property investigations. Intellectual property investigations involve protecting a company's trademarks, patents, and other intellectual property from infringement or theft. This can involve monitoring online activity, investigating potential infringements, and taking legal action to protect the company's interests. Skills required of a private or corporate investigator. To be an effective investigator in Kenya, one must possess a range of skills and qualities, including attention to detail. Investigative work requires a keen eye for detail, as even the smallest piece of evidence can be crucial in uncovering the truth. Critical thinking. Investigators must be able to analyze complex information and draw logical conclusions based on the evidence available. Communication skills. Investigative work often involves working with clients, witnesses, and law enforcement officials, so investigators must be able to communicate effectively with a range of people. Technical skills. Investigators must be proficient in the use of various technologies and software tools, such as surveillance equipment, forensic accounting software, and digital forensics tools. Discretion. Investigative work often involves sensitive information, so investigators must be able to maintain strict confidentiality and exercise discretion in all their dealings. Choosing a private or corporate investigator in Kenya. When choosing an investigator in Kenya, there are several factors to consider, including experience. Look for an investigator with a proven track record of success in your specific type of investigation. Ask for references and check online reviews to ensure that the investigator has a good reputation. Licensing and certification. In Kenya, private investigators must be licensed by the Private Security Regulatory Authority, PSRA. Check that your investigator is licensed and ask about any relevant certifications or training. Professionalism and ethics. Ensure that the investigator operates with a high level of professionalism and adheres to ethical standards. Look for an investigator who is transparent about their fees and timelines, and who is willing to answer your questions and keep you updated on the progress of your case. Specialization. Consider an investigator who specializes in your specific type of investigation. For example, if you require a background check, look for an investigator with expertise in that area. Conclusion. Private and corporate investigators play an important role in safeguarding individuals and businesses from fraud, corruption, and other criminal activities. By understanding the different types of investigations available, the skills required of an investigator, and what to look for when choosing an investigator in Kenya, you can make informed decisions and protect yourself or your company from potential harm. FAQs. How much does it cost to hire a private investigator in Kenya? The cost of hiring a private investigator in Kenya varies depending on the type and complexity of the investigation. It's important to ask for a detailed breakdown of fees and any additional costs before engaging an investigator. How long does a private investigation in Kenya take? The duration of a private investigation in Kenya can vary depending on the complexity of the case and the availability of evidence. It's important to discuss timelines and expectations with your investigator before beginning the investigation. Can I trust the information provided by a private investigator in Kenya? A reputable investigator will always provide accurate and unbiased information based on the evidence gathered during the investigation. However, it's important to do your own research and verify any information provided before taking action. Is it legal to hire a private investigator in Kenya? Yes, it is legal to hire a private investigator in Kenya as long as they are licensed by the Private Security Regulatory Authority, PSRA, and operate within the confines of the law.